Alright, good morning everybody. This is Dad down here saying thanks to Kokora for bringing this good looking 250 adventure Suzuki V-Strom. Okay, I had the good opportunity to ride this, and also I had ridden the Himalayan which I own, and I have ridden it a lot, and take TMK's 250 KTM. Okay, what do I say about this bike? Isn't it looking good? It's a fantastic looking motorcycle. It's something similar to the V-Strom 650. It's in a smaller version. It's nice, compact, and I rode it and it was surprisingly quick, fast, but it felt more like a street bike to me. And the engine performance is very good. It's very torquey. When the highways on the streets, the gear shifting was very smooth, and I could rev up the motorcycle at the optimum levels. What I didn't like was its sitting position. I never felt that I was in an adventure motorcycle, more on a street racing motorcycle. That's the feeling I got. Probably the way they built up the motorcycle, maybe the suspension is too low in this compared to the KTM Adventure, where the front top plate is raised so that you can sit on the sitting position is far better than the Suzuki 250. And the old horse Himalayan, that's a fantastic machine. Well, okay, definitely the engine is far refined over the KTM and 250. The refinement of the Himalayan is far lesser, but the adventure feeling of a motorcycle is far better when I sat on the Himalayan than on the Suzuki 250. So that's my take on today's motorcycles. What I like and don't like about these motorcycles, or the three motorcycles. The Himalayan, it's a pakka adventure motorcycle where I can take the off-roads very confidently. The suspension is very good. Though I felt the handlebar could have been far better, I felt much more towards my chest. Maybe a little more wider, that maybe after I can do that. KTM, it's a beautiful, super premium, refined motorcycle. It's good, it's fun, it's a fantastic machine. What probably I can do better than add anything on this? There's nothing like that which I can add on this. It's a good adventure motorcycle, but it's too refined for me. And the V-Strom. V-Strom is a beautiful machine. It's got a fantastic engine, but it's not an adventure motorcycle for me. For a motorcycle where I have to go on with a good-looking lady behind me, this is a motorcycle for me. Thank you.
Good morning, Internet. So, yes, I'm just following up with Dirt Done. We had a good day riding out in the morning, and we're here with a new bike that we have, V-Strom SX. So thanks to Aryan for letting it out for us. And on the motorcycle here, I understand this motorcycle is not a planned ADV, but more of a adaptation of the street-oriented SX250, or is it the Gixxer 250? So it's been more of an adapted version of it. It does well because the motor is really good. It has a very unique, I wouldn't say unique, it has a good strong initial and a very strong mid-range. Haven't got the space to test out its top end. Fit and finish looks really good, but it could have been better, because when I slate it next to the KTM 250 ADV, I kind of like this a little bit more premium feel to it. This motorcycle, I think this is a little bit, I would say it keeps you more busy than the SX, because this bike needs a little bit more of frequent shifting, whether it's like an upshift or whether it's a downshift. We are crazy speed breakers in our garden city. I think it needs a first gear, whereas the SX you can easily pull through in the third gear itself. Now, moving on, the Himalayan, the good old Himalayan that we have, and you look at it We just had some mild off-roading and this thing pulls like a tractor. Quite comfortable in whatever terrains you put it across. Yes, it's got a little bit of more weight when you compare it with the SX250. The rider ergonomics are spot on. In fact, on all these three bikes, I did not feel much of a discomfort while riding. Yes, on the SX250, you kind of sit on top of the motorcycle, gives you the feeling of a street bike, whereas the 250 ADV, you are flush with it. And in the Himalayan, you're basically sitting inside the bike. It just gives you that overall feeling. And a surprise element here, the X-Pulse. And I think the X-Pulse that we have here, in these conditions, it easily trumps everything. Yes, Bosky's got some mods going in for it, and trust me, we were running out of breath trying to catch the puny little machine with our big 250s here. So, end of the day, if you were to ask me which is it that I like, I think if it were to be pure city commuting, that's gonna be my choice, because it's got a very, very forgiving machine. The engine likes to rev up and there's no need for you to downshift unnecessarily. And my second choice would obviously be the Himalayan. I've gotten used to the long stroke singles. I think if you guys have been following our videos, you will know that I've been from the long stroke singles. And that, I wouldn't say it's the least preferred or stuff like that. I don't think there's anything like last thing, but yes, it keeps me a little bit more engaged. It keeps me more busier compared to these two. Yes, it depends on your mood for the day. If you're in a rush to get to work, I think, yeah, that's going to do the job for me, because it revs really, really high. That is what I would prefer if I have to, ride it like I stole it. A calm, sedate ride, I think I would go in either for the V-Strom or the Himalayan. So thank you guys for listening out to me patiently. I'm going to give the mic over to TMK for his expert thoughts. Thank you.
Hey everyone, today we have the opportunity of riding these adventure bikes, the ones which can do a bit of off-roading. So the new V-Strom SX250, the KTM ADV 250, and of course the Royal Enfield, the good old one. We also have the X-Pulse today, but of course the ones which are featured have been these Himalayan ADV 250 and the V-Strom. V-Strom, as many of you already would have experienced. It's a Gixxer bike. Gixxer, when it came, it was quite a refined engine. So again, it's just a ADV looking bike on a street bike. So more has been spoken by CK and Dirt Dawn and others. So that way, I feel that this is more of a street bike. I do feel a little bit uncomfortable in particular RPMs. So it may not be a great choice for long touring. That being said, the KTM is a bit of a busy bike, as as others have already said. It keeps you engaged most of the time. The other grouse that I have with the KTM is the seat height. It's the tallest of the lot, so it's not something which is, what do you say? Everyone else can start using it. You need to be of a particular height at least to start, ride this bike more comfortably. That being said, this is a far more refined engine, more comfortable on the highways. Himalayan, of course, it's been in the space for significant amount of time. And it's been one of those bikes which has been among the first to enter the segment, and which has made the other manufacturers also start thinking in this direction and then get more models into the space. So that way, this is the old horse, it does what it does. Slightly heavy, but it does the job. So if I have to choose between the three, the first one, of course, I'm more comfortable with the ADV 250 now, so I would still choose that. One is, of course, I'm used to it. Two, because of the the feel that I get when I'm riding, more comfortable, wider handle. It's a good one bike garage, so I would prefer the ADV 250. The next one is the Himalayan. I've ridden this bike before. It's typical, it's a Royal Enfield. I like the grunt, many things about it, and then it's more comfortable. As it's spoken, you are part of the bike when you're on it. The V-Storm is the next one. I feel that quite a bit of things, it could have been a more adventure bike than a street bike with an adventure chassis, the skin of an adventure bike. So that would be the third bike I would choose.
Morning, good to see you all again. The old warhorse, the new kid on the block relatively, and baby V-Storm. So I got a chance to ride all of them. Himalayan is a known devil, we know that. I know that for a long time, had it for several years, did a lot of trips. This is my favorite. I just love this motorcycle. In the last review with the Scram, the 310 and the X-Pulse, this figured prominently. This is something I like. This is something new. I rode it today and like Dirt Don said, it's a street bike in adventure clothing. Quite obvious. One that sticks out a bit sore is this handlebar. It gives away the fact that it is a street bike with trying to be an adventure bike. This handlebar is about almost the size of the handlebar of what I had on my Harley. So it's that big, huge. The T-step, rather the top plate is pretty low. So to get the posture up, they are given this huge rise on this handlebar, and its spindly little 7-8 inch handlebar sticks out. Does not look good. However, on the positive side, it's compact, it's small, it's light, nimble. The engine is fantastic, refined, smooth, phenomenal mid-range, bottom end grunt. Top end, it's got some, but I really didn't get a chance to push it all the way, but more than sufficient. It handles brilliantly on tarmac. The reason why, it's a street bike. So this bike or the Himalayan, neither of them handle as well as this on tarmac. It's a great city bike. I'm sure it will make a very good tourer also. Adventure is limited. There is a V-Storm 250 which is available overseas, which is the actual Adventure 250. I hope it comes to India sometime. Given a choice between the three, I would choose the KTM 250 first. This is my choice. This does everything very well. It's got a great engine. Yes, we have to work hard. The rider has to keep shifting, keep the engine in the rev range. That doesn't matter, because when I do all that, the bike is rewarding. I enjoy the inputs. There is an output from the bike which rewards. So this remains my go-to motorcycle. It can do great highway. It can do pretty decent dirt. City commuting is a breeze. The posture, the cost, the maintenance. This is number one. The second would be the V-Storm. This does almost all what the Adventure does. Pretty close. It's like I said, good tourer, good city bike, and pretty okay in dirt. It may not be really dirt capable, but it's okay. Last choice is the Himalayan. It's been around for long. It set a trend. It started the adventure, the lightweight, the smaller cc adventure segment in India. Thanks to this motorcycle, all these have come. And it's heading towards its twilight. So, job well done. I would not be critical too much of this motorcycle. Job well done. Thanks for starting a new segment, and it's time to retire. Thanks for listening.
ಜಾಕೆಟ್ ತೆಗೆದು ಬಿಡ್ಲಾ ನನ್ನ ಬೈಕಿಂದ ಇರಲ್ಲ ತೆಗಿರಿ
ತೆಗಿರಿ ಅದೊಂದು ದೃಷ್ಟಿ ಅದು
50,000 ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇದು